Hey everybody, this is Jose Blasco here. We're about to start in around 30 seconds. Let's use this time for a sound check. Please go ahead, confirm that you hear my voice, typing a nice hello message on the chat box, and that way I know you hear me and we are ready to go. Thank you very much. Okay, we just reached the top of the hour. Very nice. Thank you so much for that message. How are you all? I am maximizing the introduction screen so we can start the session properly. Very nice. Good to see you all. Geneva, how are you, dear? Irwin, very nice to see you all. Okay, so let's begin. Today it's 28th of October 2018. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide. Today, the session is about intraday trading. So we are getting together for short-term trades, short-term purposes, and we'll be exploring a collection of markets ranging from futures all the way to Forex, looking for those opportunities. And the moment we have an opportunity that meets our rule, we will be ready to execute. And on your end, you are more than welcome to join me if you are comfortable with the trades I put in front of you. When it comes to executing, of course, you decide if you want to use real money, paper money, and the size of the trades as well. And I will be working on the setup, the preparation, the rationale, the entries, the exits, the targets, the stops. That's what I will be doing on my end. Okay. But anyway, before we start, as always, you know, we have a disclaimer. So I'll read it quickly. The following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Traditive provide these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through a demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive when using our products. And that is the introduction. And it is now time to click on our TradeStation red screen page where we have all the climates running for us, looking for opportunities. Okay, so what do we have? Well, when looking at that screen, the first opportunity that seems to be a valid one for us to explore is natural gas. Using a common time frame of 60 minutes, we can see we have a near sensible opportunity. One candle into climates of 4 candles. That's what we have in front of us. So let's go ahead and open the natural gas desktop. Okay. And in case you are not guessing it, let me tell you that in parallel on my other computer screen, I am also loading barcharts.com website. So we're gonna go ahead and double check the right symbol to be used when trading natural gas. Especially, it's critical, especially with the markets that got expiration dates in a monthly basis, okay, such as metals, energies. It is certainly critical that you make sure that you're using the right symbols. For other markets such as equity futures, currency futures, symbols change every 3 months, so it's much less critical, even though of course we always need to check, but certainly with energies and so on is much more critical. Okay, so I got natural gas here on my other computer screen. Let me bring it to the main screen, and you can see here the correct symbol to be used as we speak is NGZ. Okay, so Z referring to December expiration. I'm just gonna wait for the table to load to confirm, which should be the case, that December is the expiration date with the greatest liquidity, and yes it is. Okay, so I'm gonna move from NGX to NGZ19. Okay, that's important for all of you to be doing that with me. At the same time, as we begin the preparation of our first trade of the day, I also want to point at the fact that yesterday we got together for sharpening purposes, and I believe that some of you were with us, but I believe that not everybody was with us. And one of the things that we did yesterday is that we talked about a variation of our flow chart. So we had a few different rules, especially for setting target. That was a big difference. And you know, if you haven't watched that session, please go ahead and watch it. It's recorded on our YouTube channel. I will show you very quickly so you know where to find it. And again, today I will not have time to explain it, so I'm just gonna go with it. But if you missed it yesterday, it is important, I would even say it's critical, that you go ahead and you watch our sharpening session from yesterday. Okay, so here's our YouTube channel. By the way, if you didn't like or subscribe to the channel yet, this is your time to do it. And also, most importantly, click on the bell so you get real-time notifications when we do events such as sharpening. And the one that we did yesterday is here under sharpening, which is sharpening trading flowchart October 27. Okay, so it's a critical session for you to watch, since we have changed a few rules, and the whole rationale about which rules have been changed, and most importantly why, it's all explained there in the session. Okay, good. Good. How are you, Lisa? How are you, Ricky? How are you, everyone? Very good, perfect. Okay, so we are looking at natural gas. So what do we have at the moment with natural gas? We have a confirmed climate. Okay, step one, we have one candle out of 4 into the climate, so certainly a good time to enter trades. Average price 552.9. Okay, 552.9. Unfortunately, okay, at 552.9, which is more or less here, which is where the price is right now, more or less, because the current price is 25.31. So this is just a little below. So we got no green UFO in any of the time frames. Okay, so it doesn't mean this is not a market that we're gonna watch. We're gonna keep that chart open for the whole session today, because the beauty of using markets such as natural gas, even though they are less liquid compared to markets such as the S&P 500, the beauty is that we are using the 60-minute time frame for common time frame, and therefore we only need to review the climate once per hour instead of one every 15 minutes. So that way, that's why I said that we're gonna leave this chart here for the whole session, because in a little bit from now the market will open and we may have UFOs that begin forming, and they may be forming very well aligned with the average, and if that was to be the case, that would be the setup that we're looking for the trades. But at this moment in time, we don't have that, so we will pass. Okay, so what else do we have? Back to the climates. Let me see. Nothing else. The one with lean hogs is hopeful. 13 candles out of 4. So certainly we're gonna totally ignore it. We will not pay attention to that one. And the other ones, all the ATR spreads are 1 point something. So markets are a little stretched as we speak. The only one that is not is natural gas. But again, unfortunately, we don't have a UFO. So in the futures markets, we're gonna have to wait. And I'm sure that in no time, a lot of things will be happening, especially in 23 minutes from now as the market opens. Lots of movements will happen in different directions, and that will create opportunities, okay? Therefore, while we're waiting for futures opportunities to show up, we're gonna start looking at Forex markets. On the right, on the very right, I got the minors. In the middle, I got the majors. For the minors, okay, the guys, the ones of you that you have been in the sessions for a while, you know all the minors were using 4 hours as a common time frame. For the majors, we're using the 60-minute time frame as well as the 4-hour time frame, because we got more liquidity and therefore it's okay to go for the 62, okay, with the majors, not with the minors. So in this sense, let me get ready with a trading view. Okay, so I'm gonna load trading view. I will click on charts. Okay, by the way, since I'm loading trading view, okay, I want to make you all aware that some of you may or may not be, that if you come to tradingview.com and you were to search our name, so here it says ticker, you click on the drop-down menu, you pick people. And once you pick people, you type the name of our company, which is Tradictive. Okay, you will find us. And the moment you find us and you click on it, okay, you will be accessing our main page, where we are posting trade ideas all the time, and you can go ahead and click follow, or even like, or both. And if you were to click follow every time, every day when we post the new trades, you get alerts. Okay. These trades, by the way, are very basic. Okay, they are more basic than the ones that we do in the get together session. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so looking for oh, by the way, a quick one as well. Yesterday I was having issues to have a trading view in the get together sharpening session. I was having issues for the TradeStation window on the right to work to allow us to do a position size. Okay, and the reason why is because I had set up TradeStation properly, but here on the drop down menu here, okay, I was using the wrong account, and because the account I was pointing at was not a futures account, then the tool here on the right, the order panel that allows you to calculate position size and everything, that tool was not showing up properly because of that. Okay, so my problem yesterday was that I did not select the right account from this drop down menu. Okay, so just for you to know, guys, okay, because the beauty of connecting TradeStation to your trading view is that now you get real-time data feeds, including markets such as natural gas, crude oil, etc., etc. Okay, so anyway, but I'm loading trading view for me to plan Forex trades. Okay, so I will go ahead and open my Forex desktops. They are called layouts on TradingView. So here we go. So I have, okay, here we go. So on the left, I got my 60-minute setup with the 60-minute time frame combined with the 8, okay? And on the right, I got my 240-minute setup combined with the 21, okay? That's what I have. So let's close the order panel, okay? Let's open the Forex and let's begin. So looking at opportunities here, nothing new still with the futures. Starting with Forex, Great British Pound, US dollar seem to be giving us a long opportunity, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and look at the GBP USD in the 60-minute time frame. So we are looking for majors GBP USD. Let's see what we've got. Okay, yes, this is correct. We have a defined Kleinet sapphire color dot, candle number 1 out of 7.51. So certainly very nice time to enter this market, but only if we have UFOs. And funnily enough, it seems that, oh yes, we do. We do have UFOs, okay, but way, way, way higher, and it is UFOs to sell, not UFOs to buy. So in other words, we don't have UFOs that are lining up with the average, and therefore we will not have a trade here, okay? A new UFO just formed for natural gas. Thank you so much, Geneva. So let's go ahead and let's go take a look. So 25.30, and that's 25.30. So the top one, it's 31, the bottom one is 29. Okay, so 29, very good. Okay, so this is a trade where we have, you know, basically from top to bottom, we got 2 points. Okay, I should say 2 ticks. Okay, from 25.31 to 25.29, it's only 2. So this is a trade that is quite risky to take, given the fact that in the futures markets where the way we get filled is first in, first out, if I place an order on the top, which is 31, for me to get filled, I would need this market to drop to 30 to guarantee the fill, okay? Because it's first in, first out. In other words, if that's the case and my stop happens to be at 28, I'm gonna be 2 ticks away from my stop, okay? So I'm gonna place the order, okay? I'm gonna place the order because the inner part of the flying saucer, okay, the inner circle inside the flying saucer happens to be exactly located at 30, okay? So in that sense, I would not mind for the market to go to 30, okay? But at the same time, realistically, having the stop so close from the entry, it's a little problematic, okay? It diminishes, you know, your probability for the trade to work out well, okay? So out of demonstration, and because it's not wrong, I'm gonna place an order, okay? But in cases like that, where your UFOs are so narrow, okay? And by the way, Ricky, I've been looking at some of your trades. I haven't finished yet, okay? But this comment applies to you. Okay, when you have UFOs that are so narrow, the recommended way to enter the trade would be that you wait using the reactive time frame to see some green UFOs appear in the reactive time frame and then take the trade. Because again, when the UFOs are so narrow, it could be problematic. Okay, so keep that in mind. In any case, okay, so let's apply the process. Okay, and since yesterday we went over the new flow chart. Okay, so I would like, oops, sorry for that, I was just clicking on the wrong button here on my end. So okay, so step 1, using the common time frame, check the climate. We did that already. Step 2, define the target. So I'm going to define the target, but notice that the target, okay, and this is a change from yesterday, we are not going to change time frame. We're just going to do it in the 60. Okay, so I am maximizing the window here, and notice how the target for natural gas, okay, would be located at, let me say this right, 25.44. Okay, so 2.544, that would be the target for natural gas. Okay, by the way, we just got an alert on crude oil, so we're gonna go take a look at this one in just a sec. Okay, so that would be the target. Okay, so we're gonna place an order here. We said we're gonna enter at 31. Okay, I'm going with 2 contracts. Stop is 28. Okay, which means that safety target would go right here at 34, and then the final target is 44, which is here. So this is the trade. Okay, this is likely going to be a trade that works out well very quickly, or doesn't work out at all, and we know it very soon as well. Okay, again, in the perfect world, and we're gonna watch this. Okay, you would want to wait for price to come into the green UFO, and then we need to see green on the reactive time frame to take this trade. This is a right action to be taken when your UFOs are so narrow to increase your odds a little more. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, so now back to the climates. We got an alert on crude oil. So, oh wow, crude oil is showing some volatility here. Okay, so showing some volatility. Anyway, so let's go take a look at crude oil. So open workspace, crude oil, where are you? We would like to see you. We want to plan the trade using the Z expiration date, isn't it? We know that from the prior day, but we never want to be overconfident. So always come back to your website and double check. Okay, so bar chart, energies, crude oil. Okay, this is the Z. Okay, looking at the table that is loading. Come on, 1, 2, 3. Someone snap fingers. Here we go. Thank you very much for snapping fingers. So the Z was the right number, the right letter, as you can see, is the greatest figure. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, so we have crude oil. What do we have with crude oil? Okay, well, with crude oil we have 7 dots. Okay, 7 dots in a market that is supposed to go up by 6. Okay, so we have surpassed 6 by 1. Remember, that's the time when you take 6. Okay, and I'm rounding 5.65 up to 6. You take 6 and you take half of it, which is 3, and 6 and 3, that's 9, meaning that from 7 to 9 you will allow yourself to take a trade, but half the size is required. Okay, so we're gonna take this trade with half of the size with crude oil. 56.57 is our reference. 56.57 is falling below this UFO, and is somewhere in here there is nothing, and is somewhere in here and there is nothing. So right now we got no UFO to take this trade, so we have to wait. But be ready, because at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, we're gonna have an update of the average, which is likely going to tick up. So instead of 56.58, it may be 56.61 or something like that, and then it's gonna fall in between that UFO. Okay, so in order for me to be ready for that, just in case I have to rush later on, I'm just gonna go ahead and activate AutoUFOs to pick a target. Okay, to pick a target. And to be honest, And to save time, because I would need to load plenty of data here, because crude oil, has not been that high for a long time. So I remember from yesterday when we did the session that the target was 58.46. So therefore, I'm just gonna use that value. Let me type it. Okay, so you can type it too. Maybe you can make a note in a piece of paper. So 58.46. That is the target that we're gonna use for crude oil. We don't see it now, but if you were to load many more candles, up here at 58.46, you would get to see a red UFO, and that's gonna be your target. Okay, so again, I'm just saving a little bit of time here, given the fact that crude oil. We saw that yesterday. If you were in the session, you know what I'm talking about. So good. So let's continue. So any news with natural gas? No news. No news with natural gas. Well, the news though is that a new UFO has formed here. A new UFO has formed, and the top of this UFO is 43 all the way to 29. Okay, so this is making me happy and unhappy at the same time. So it's making me happy because obviously now we have more UFO power on our side. But you know what I'm thinking. I'm sure you're reading my mind. Given the fact that now the vertical distance between entry and stop would be so much if I place my entry here. So now my entry would basically be where the target is. Okay, so this trade will not be appealing any longer. Okay, so because of that, I'm just gonna leave the trade the way it is. Okay, and the fact that I still have those UFOs there, it's not a bad thing in the sense that if price goes down and all those orders get filled, and they are orders to buy, well then when price gets all the way to the bottom UFO, that's gonna make the bottom UFO likely to work even better, because a lot of the buying took place and therefore less sellers are left. And because less sellers are left, price is more likely to react well to the buy on filled orders found around 25.30. Okay, so I said this quite quickly. You can always re-listen to it in the recording. Okay, but again, the reason why I'm not merging those UFOs for the trade is because then my target, okay, which is 25.44, then basically would be located where the entry is. Okay, and again, that would make no sense. And questions. Thomas, yes, I'll get into the euro in just a minute. Okay, I'll get there. Ricky, and by the way, if you're looking at something specific on the euro, please let me know, because the process I follow, Thomas, is I will look at the euro if the euro is here on the screen, which it is, but the climate is not confirmed right now. Okay, so I will not have the tendency to go check the euro unless you tell me something specific about the euro and you need support with, and then I'll be delighted. But from a trading point of view, it doesn't look like the euro here is an opportunity. It doesn't look like with the 240-minute time frame is an opportunity either, because the climates are gray color, meaning that they are not confirmed climates. So please phrase whatever your question is or was, so I can take a look and I can assist you. But just keep in mind that it's not looking like it's the right time to take the trade. Okay, so one more look at crude oil. Also one more look at the clock. 7 minutes for the update. Okay, so this will likely become an entry, but it's gonna be just a little later. More questions. Angel, Jose, do you trade SPX weekly options with same expiration day? Normally for intraday, I am much more of a lover of futures. And certainly I use options in many different other scenarios, but for intraday trading specifically, I prefer futures. So the answer to your question is that I don't do that. Okay. Dirk is commenting with you that he does that. We have another very significant member in our community that does that too. Chuck Phillips, probably you have heard of him, or you know him, or you have seen him around in the session. He's also very big in utilizing intraday options with the S&P 500 index itself, okay? And certainly is a very valid application, okay? Cool, okay. Euro future, very good. I just saw that flashing. Irwin, love the teamwork. So Euro futures, what do we have? Climate going down. We have a sensible short opportunity that flashed a second ago because it was 0.5. Now it's 0.55, so it's good. We'll take it. 3 candles into climates that tend to go down by 6.48. All of this looks good. So let's go ahead and open the Euro futures. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if the opportunity is ready or not. Okay, so what do we have? As we said, 3 candles into the climate. Okay, so 3 out of 5. Certainly a good time to enter. Average 111.28.2. 28.2, I would say, is in the middle of this UFO. In other words, we do have an entry. The top is 29.5, which is in the middle of this. So we're gonna have to use the top being 30.00. So we'll have our stop located at 31. 31 being here is in the white space. In here is in the white space. And of course, in here is in the white space. Okay, so entry is gonna be the bottom part of this UFO. Okay, and by the way, we are meeting entries, so we need to rush here a little bit. So 11.29.5, 11.26, that's the entry. This UFO is 11.26, that's the entry. So I just need to find out the target on the common time frame. And the target for the euro would be 111.19.5. Okay, so 111.19.5, that is the trade for the euro futures. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the trade in. 26 is the entry. Sell 2 contracts. I'm using 2 by default. Stop 31, good. Safety target 21, that's good too. Final target we said is gonna be 19.5. So 19.5 is right here. Okay, so that's the trade. It's not a trade where we are shooting for a major amazing profit. Okay, actually the final target is very close to the safety target, so that's not, as I said, not amazing. Okay, but it's it does meet the rules, and therefore we are now ready to execute this trade. Okay, so the trade is on. What else do we have? Any more markets showing up? No. Natural gas, still the same. Crude oil looking good for a trade in 3.5 minutes from now. So back to the euro to see what's going on, what's going to happen with this trade, and you know, we'll see what's the outcome. Of course, remember we just started here with this tick with the time stop. Okay, so 3 candles, 2 minutes each. This is our condition for time stop. Angel, awesome. You're just waiting for the open. Do you see Aaron Condor? Okay, got it. Perfect. I can see we have a few options lovers here in the room. I love it. I love to see that. So anyway, good. So back to our climates window. By the way, I love the fact that we just got this position filled on the euro, just like 2.5 minutes or so prior to the market opening. Okay, to 2 minutes and 10 seconds, because when the market opens, okay, we're gonna see a push, or normally we are expected to see a push, which happens almost every single day. If the push stops us out, we'll say thank you very much and we'll go find another trade. But if the push works in our favor, that will very likely gets us to our targets very, very efficiently, which is one of the reasons why I love these trades right around the open. Okay, if it's a little too fast for you, you can always place your trade and you know, just wait 5-10 minutes before after the market opens and then begin trading then. Okay, cool. Okay, so natural gas keeps pushing. Okay, got it. So look, since the market is gonna open in just a few minutes and everything's gonna happen quite fast, okay, so I'm just gonna place my order already. Okay, I am anticipating that UFO to be aligned with the average, okay, which is not now but is very likely to be next. So if any, canceling the trade, it's one click of one button. So I'll be ready to cancel the trade, but I don't want to miss it, and therefore I'm gonna place my order at 56.65. That will be my entry. Okay, 66.55. Stop is gonna be 58. Okay, so we are talking about 7. So that's gonna bring my safety target to 72. And final target is gonna be very far away. Okay, it's 58.46, okay? Super, super, super far away. Is one of those times when I say it's no way we're getting there in one day. But anyway, we gotta respect the market data we have, so I'm not gonna improvise a target. I'm just gonna place the target where it needs to be, and then I'll be trailing stop and applying my other trade management methodologies, okay? Also, to have a better view of what's gonna happen in this trade, I will just zoom in here so we get to see it better, okay? But you can see here the parameters of the trade. So entry 65, target 1 72, stop 58, and final target it's 46. Okay, so let's see what's gonna happen on this trade. The market just opened. Okay, the market just opened. Let's take a look first at what's happening to our euro trade. So our euro trade is still doing its thing. Not much reaction, to be honest, to the market open. Actually, very boring reaction to the market open. So we let it be. And back to the climates to see if anything else has showed up. So the euro has changed now to a non-confirmed climate. Okay, non-confirmed climate. Obviously that's not ideal, but it's what it is. We are in the trade. So now the one rule that we are applying with the euro is the time stop. Okay, so we enter in that candle. We got the second candle. Actually, 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, yeah, we should be out of this trade. Okay, we should be out of this trade. We already got 3 candles. Time went so fast. So I'm just gonna move my targets to be 1 tick below the entry. So if that market goes down, I'll be out. Basically, I'll break even +1, and that's it. Okay. Of course, that was not the plan, but since this trade is proven to not to do anything for us, and on top of that, this is not part of the rule, but on top of that, you know, we can see how the climate has changed to non-confirm. So certainly that's gonna be the exit that we're looking for. We are looking for exiting this trade at break even and go find something better. This one is not showing us much quality. Natural gas coming down. Yeah, so the average 53.2, entry is 53.1. So yeah, so everything is looking okay for natural gas. And again, back to the climates, nothing else in the futures side. Okay, so back to Forex. Okay, a quick look at the euro. Nothing at the moment. Okay, so we just need this thing to drop 5 ticks and we'll be out. Okay, so in the meantime, let's look at Forex. So let's begin with the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, Aussie dollar, US dollar. What do we have? So loading the climate. So we have a climate. It's 7 candles out of 7. Okay, so we are still okay to take this trade. So average, as you can see, is 68.24. And 24, I believe, is up here. So you know that UFO is just a little too low. Okay, so we are not gonna plan a trade on the Aussie dollar. Okay, what else do we have? Nothing else here. The GBP we already checked before, it was not good. And also the Canadian dollar was flashing earlier. Now it's 66. Okay, it was flashing when it was 50. So just to make sure I don't miss anything, I look at the US dollar CAD. Okay, see what happens. So we have a down climate. Okay, down climate, 5 out of 5. So still time to get in. 30.63, that's the average value, and 30.63 it's down here. So yeah, that would not be the right entry point. So US dollar CAD does not meet our rules for a trade. So we are now moving into the 4-hour time frames, and we'll go back, revisit the Aussie and the pound, but we're gonna actually not the Aussie because it's not confirmed. We'll do it with the pound using the 4-hour time frame. We will then go ahead and look at the pound. So 4-hour time frame, changing from minors to majors. Click on the pound and let's see where we go. Good. Okay, so what do we have? We have, let me zoom in a little more. So we have a confirmed climate. Okay, 1 candle. Okay, 1 candle out of 6. So certainly it's a good one. But similarly, that what happened in the 8-minute time frame, in the 21-minute time frame, there's no UFOs. The only place where there's a UFO, which should be 128.33, but the one that we found is 128.40, which is not the right location. So no trade with pound in the 4-hour time frame. So then we move to the minors, and we have Aussie dollar CAD with a new climate here, 1 candle out of 7. That's nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at still 4-hour common time frame. We are moving from from Great British Pound, we are moving to Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Hey everybody, give me some feedback as well. How is it going so far? Everybody good? Give me some feedback there, I guess so, but you know, I always like to kind of know how things are going on. Will you short crude oil? Well, the climate that we have in crude oil, it's blue, isn't it? So Nathaniel, it's no time to short, it's time to go long only, okay, based on our process. So therefore, we are waiting for crude oil to come to the entry and we're gonna purchase, which it's looking like is not doing it. So you know what, new UFOs may form. We'll have an update of the average and the climate into the next 15-minute candle, and we'll see then what happens. But at the moment in time, certainly this is not a market for us to short. This is a market for us to go long based on the rules that we apply. Okay. Euro still doing its thing. Yep, not much to be honest. Still there. Yeah, the climate is pushing it down, but not much power there, that climate. So anyway, 1 candle out of 5 in this case. Okay, this is what we get as stats with TradingView. Average for the Aussie CAD is 89.16. 89.16 is down here. We just need the average to be a little higher. Okay, so you know what, just watch, because the next time I mean, we still have 3 hours and 23 minutes to wait, as you can see here. Okay, but when we have a new candle forming, okay, the average will likely move down, and then you may have some new UFO that form and everything is lining up, okay, which at that time it's not the time. Okay, cool. Yes, Thomas, there is a recording on YouTube which is about Forex. Okay, so you do the same thing, you go for the YouTube channel. Okay, you go for the YouTube channel, you find Get Together Sharpening, click View Full Playlist. Okay, and when you get there, you type Control F on your computer, on your keyboard, and then you type Forex. And here we go, May 25, Sharpening Forex. Okay, so it's right there. Very nice. Nice to hear your comment, Pansy. Nice everyone, with all good. Lisa Batsiel is 8 candles into 4 candles. Yeah, so that means that we will need to use half of the size, isn't it? I think that's what you mean to say, Lisa. I'm with you on that. Orlando, how are you, Orlando, my friend? You have to sign up. Well, that was a happy and a sad moment, just to read that you're here, just to read that you live. Understood. Good, perfect. Okay, let's continue. So, well, the euro pushing hard on the opposite direction. Okay, so it was a good attempt to exit with a time stop, but not looking too good for a happy exit of this trade. Okay, so what is the next one we can plan with Forex? Euro AUD. So we're gonna go for Euro AUD using the 240-minute time frame combined with 21. Okay, and first step is check the climate. Climate is a red climate. We got 2 candles into climates that are supposed to last 5. Certainly a good time to get in. Average price for this currency would be 162.52. So we will want to enter at this price. Unfortunately, no red UFO at this moment in time. Okay, and same here. The UFO here in the range time frame is 63, no 50 something. So hey, it seems that it's one of those days where we need to use some extra patience here. New Zealand Swiss franc also giving us an opportunity near sensible 1 candle into the climate. Okay, so that's nice. That is nice. So we said New Zealand Swiss franc. So let's pick that currency pair, and let's take a look to see if this time we do have an opportunity or not. Okay, so climate, one candle into the climate. Okay, if you hear explosions in the background, this is just Indian celebrations with Deepawali, the Indian New Year. So enjoy. Anyway, so one candle into 5. Okay, and so we are certainly at the right time to get into an opportunity to potentially catch a big move down, similar to what may have happened here. Okay, after some sideways movement and then a push down. So similar potential situation identified for us. Okay, so the average here is 63.21, and 63.21 certainly in this case does coincide well with that UFO. Okay, so here we do have an entry. Okay, so therefore, because we have an entry, I'm going now to follow the flow chart properly. Okay, which is I check my climate is all good, so I got a yes, and next step is to find the target. So let's go ahead and find the target using the same time frame, which is 240-minute time frame. I'm gonna activate AutoUFOs, looking for a green color UFO. Okay, and we don't have any. Yeah, no green UFO in this time frame. Okay, again, we've seen cases like that before. This is good and bad at the same time. Certainly I prefer when we do have the UFOs, because we can set a clear target, where in this case basically you would have a safety target only, and then just keep trailing stop. So in that sense it will not be ideal, but that's the opportunity we are given. The good news though is that when you have no green UFO, sometimes you do have a very, very strong, powerful push down, such as these type of pushes. Okay, why? Because there is nothing to stop it from this to happen. So as long as some large market player injects some intense selling, the market will have an easy time to fall hard. Okay, so we'll take that. Okay, so let me write down on the screen the plan for this trade. So the stop loss, actually I need to move my text a little bit to the right so I can read the chart. So my stop loss would be located at 0.6332, okay, which is the red UFO on the top. Of course, because it's a buy order, we add 2, that's 34, and because it's a stop, we add 5, so it's 39. So then we will have a short entry that would be located at 0.63, we're gonna make it 20. Okay, so that's 19 pips of risk. So safety target would be located 19 pips below, which is 0.6301. And then for the final target, okay, we just follow the trade management rules, okay, which I will have on the screen in a second as well, so it's clear for everybody. Okay. We've got stopped out on the euro contract. Okay, let me take a look at that in just a second. I mean, there is not much to look, I guess, but we'll check all together. So there are two ways to do the time stop, Lisa. Okay, there are two ways to do the time stop. So let me come in here. So the euro, yes. So you're right, we've got stopped out here, okay? So we've been stopped out. So the two ways to deal with the time stop is the following. So let me zoom in again on that area so we can see that clearly, okay? So you know what, I'm gonna disable AutoUFOs so we have clear information in front of us. So you took this trade here, right? So the time stop tells you that after 3 candles, okay, if you haven't reached your safety target yet, you need to attempt getting out for whatever profit you have, even if it's a small profit. And if you are in the losing territory, which is our case in this trade, you need to attempt to get out at break even. So to attempt to get out at break even, what I did is I moved my targets to entry minus 1 tick, as you saw. okay? A variation of the time stop, which is a little more conservative, okay, is that if after candle 5, okay, so you enter in time stop mode on candle 3, right? If after candle 5 you haven't been able to exit the trade for break even, then whatever P&L you have, just close it, okay? And these would normally allow you to collect a little bit of a smaller loss compared to, instead of collecting the whole predefined loss. Again, everybody's different when trading. In my case, you know, when I predefine a loss, I'm absolutely in peace with it. So I have no problem collecting a loss because it's part of it, okay? It's part of trading, and I'm okay with that. So, you know, in that sense, that's what I did. And as I just said, I'm okay with that, okay? But if that's not your case, then what you would want to do is you would want to apply the variation of the time stop rule and exit just a little sooner, which is fine as well, okay, Lisa? Nathaniel Jacks, what's your perspective on bonds? You mean like trading bonds intraday with like bond futures, or you are talking about bonds in general? Hélène, Jose, when using the time stop, would it be okay to move the stop to minimize the risk as well as moving the target to entry? Yeah. Yes, it would be okay. It would be okay. And the way you would do it is the way I just explained. Okay, because what you don't want to do is to move the stop randomly just to see what happens in that random position, because then, you know, randomness, it's always a problem. Okay, because then you are acting in ways that are not objective. You're acting on ways that are subjective, and then that will not produce a consistent mechanical action. Okay, so that way, if you want to minimize the loss, okay, so you can just go ahead and have a time stop for your time stop, right? So when you get to candle number 3, you enter in time stop mode. If the trade didn't work out, then you give yourself 2 more candles for that time stop mode to work. And if it doesn't work, you just close it manually at whatever P&L that is, which is normally going to be less than your full loss. Okay, that would be the way to do it. Anyway, so let's continue. So I've seen that we got a flashing light here for the euro. Okay, so the euro seems to be defining a climate on the opposite direction. You can see here the thick blue dot. Unfortunately, being the average 111.29, we got no UFO at that price. Okay, so we can certainly watch this for a little bit, and it may give us an opportunity, but right now there is no opportunity. So what's happening with crude oil? Because, you know, we haven't watched this for a while. So 64 is the average, 65 is our entry. The climate is 9 out of 6. So this is basically the last candle. Okay, the last candle we are allowed to take this trade. So basically this will take us to the top of the hour. Okay, the moment we get to 10 a.m. Eastern time, if we haven't been filled on this trade, we have to cancel this trade because the climate is not sustainable anymore. Okay, so we will need to cancel this trade. On the other hand, I will say that, well, actually it's not the other hand, it's the same hand. On the same hand, I just made up an expression. I will say that this trade, since a few candles ago, needs to be taken with half of the size because we have exceeded number 6. Okay, when we planned for this earlier was number 7, and I did say half of the size. So now crude oil is approaching our entry, and hopefully we'll meet entry, and this trade looks good for a potential profit. Okay, natural gas. What else is happening with natural gas? All the same, no changes. Okay, remember natural gas, we're using the 60-minute time frame, and therefore this average will not change until then. Okay, what else? Climates, back to climates. Again, on the future side, we only have the euro flashing for us. On the Forex side, we still have Aussie dollar and pound. Pound just went away. Pound just came back, okay? On the minors, what else do we have? So we have the US dollar, Sing dollar that is now showing up that was not available earlier. So let's go take a look at the Sing dollar. Okay, we may have an opportunity with the Sing. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have a climate, okay? Climate, 3 candles into 5. So certainly right time to get in. The average price is 136.27, which is close enough to this collection of UFOs that overlap each other. We have 3 UFOs, okay, 3 UFO power, but what I like very much is that they are all very narrow, bringing the stop only 15 pips away. So that's pretty nice, okay? So this is looking good for a setup, okay? It is looking good for a setup, and therefore, because it's looking good for the setup, now that I have confirmed the climate, I'm gonna go check on the target. So target for the Sing dollar would be located at 135.88. Okay, so for the Sing dollar, we are looking at 135.88. Remember, because it's a buy order, we had 2, so 88 becomes 90. So the target is 135.90. That would be the target for the US dollar, Sing dollar. Okay, so zooming in a little more, just so it's more visual, and let's go ahead and write the parameters of the trade, because if I continue doing the process, we already know we have a valid entry because I did it before. Okay, so the valid entry would be those UFOs on the top that are lining up very nicely with the average. Okay, so it's all good. Then stop loss, of course, for the stop loss, we're just going to use the upper value, and then we're going to add 2 plus 5, 2 because it's a buy order, 5 because it's a stop. Okay, and then we will calculate the size and also the safety target. Okay, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so by the way, let's calculate the size. Okay, in this trade. Okay, so TradeStation doesn't allow me to trade Forex, so I'm going to have to change to paper trading, for example, so it allows me to plan on the Forex trades. Okay, so we are planning to short. Okay, in this case, the entry is going to be 136.28. Stop loss will be 136. That would be 34 plus 2 and 5. So plus 2, that's 36, and 5, that's 41. Okay, so that would be the location for the stop. Let's say you want to risk $100 per trade, to pick a number. So you type 100, and this tells you that you will need to use 76 micro lots for this trade, okay? Or 7 mini lots, or 0.7 lots, which you cannot do 0.7 lots. Okay, so that would be the size of your trade for $100 of risk. Okay, so if you want more risk, is more. If you want less risk, is less. And for your profit, okay, as we said before, we're gonna set profit at 135.90. That would be your profit. Okay, so we are shooting for that that size of a move. Okay, now keeping those values in mind. Okay, keeping these values in mind, the stop is 41, the entry is 36.28, so we have 13 pips of risk. If I project 13 below 136.28, that would bring my safety target to be 136.15. Okay, so in other words, I need to add here safety target, okay, 136.15. 136.15. Okay, so that's the plan. So you have your entry, you have your final target, and you have your stop loss. Okay, those are the values in the trade. And for every $100 of risk that you are willing to risk, okay, you will need to shoot for that size, which is 76 micro lots. If you were to input this in platforms such as MetaTrader, it would be 0.76. Okay, that would be the size of the trade. Anyway, so let's continue here with your questions too. And by the way, you said crude oil is getting close. So let's go ahead and look at crude oil. Okay, look at crude oil. So it's getting close to the entry. Okay, we are still few ticks away, less than 10 ticks away. So this could happen in a heartbeat. Okay, crude oil is fast. Good. So questions and comments. Why you? Jose, how to avoid fake climate? I have experienced the candle was bullish climate, but once I took limit trend changed to bearish. Okay, you just created a new term, fake climate, and you know what? If I had an answer for that question, basically it's because I would have a crystal ball, right? Because what the auto climate is doing, it's utilizing market data to try to understand the best it can the current market environment. And one of the things that we discussed when we went over auto climate is that there are certain characteristics in the market that tend to last, such as momentum, such as trends, such as we discussed a collection of things. I don't want to repeat myself. So basically auto climate is measuring all those things, and auto climate assumes at times that those conditions are likely to last, and that's when you get a specific color. Of course, at any moment in time, a large market player may come in with a big pile of sell orders or a big pile of buy orders and change the climate. Okay, so if we knew when the readings are fake, meaning that they are not what they expect to be, that means that we can predict the future with total certainty, and I wish I had an answer for you, but obviously I don't. So it's all about probabilities, and that's where we're at. Okay. Yeah, this can certainly happen. Okay, and that's why we use stops. Okay, so if auto climate was always right, then we would not need to use stops. Okay. Good. Irwin, for crude oil, as it is candle number 9, we take half of the size. Correct. If it's one contract, where should we put the target price? Well, if it's one contract, then you should go for the final target. Okay. So if you're going to take the trade with one contract only, then have your final target in place. And what you would do is the moment you reach safety target, okay, instead of exiting the trade, what you would do is that you would take your stop and you would move your stop to break even. That way, so let's pretend it comes to you, gets you filled, then it's moving your way, okay, and gets to the safety target. So you take your stop and now you bring it here. So now if this market crude oil, instead of continue up, was to stop you out, you would be stopped out at the same entry price, so you would not profit and not lose either. It's a break-even stop. That's what you would do. But my recommendation is it would give you so much better results if you were to do the trade with at least 2 contracts. So if crude oil happens to be too large as a market for you to use 2 contracts, so then my recommendation is you should consider not using crude oil. Use another market. That would be my recommendation. A market where you can use 2 contracts at a time. You also have micros, okay? You also have micros. We had beautiful examples. Okay, I don't know if Frank is with us today, but some of you are doing a very good job with trading micro markets. Okay, let me show you a couple of examples. By the way, make sure you follow our Twitter profile, because we started with this not too long ago, and many of you may not even know we have the Twitter profile. So come in here and click follow if you use Twitter. Okay, but let me see if I can find examples here. Let me see, because we do have examples that were posted with micro contracts. Let me see this one. No, that was the Japanese yen futures. What about? No. So then I guess the examples I'm talking about are to be found on our Facebook page, on our facebook.com/tradewithufos. I mean, I just want to show you this, okay? No need for notifications. I just want to show you this because this could be also very nice for you to utilize, and maybe even very, very educational at times. You get to see how other users of AutoUFO and AutoClimate use them, and this could maybe open your eyes to certain applications you didn't think of, or maybe some mistakes you are making as well. Okay. Okay, well, my web page is taking a while to load. Okay, I understand, because the video was being loaded. Okay, so I'll come back to this in a minute. Let me see if we're gonna get filled or not, because remember, and this is gonna be painful to do if we have to do it, and it's looking like we're gonna have to do it. 20 seconds from now, we're gonna have to prove ourselves how disciplined we are, and we're gonna be canceling that trade on crude oil, guys. Okay, so even though it's kind of like the sky and the moon and the planets and the stars are lining up, and it's almost ready, we're almost ready to take this trade. In 4 seconds, okay, we're gonna have number 10 in the climate, and that means that the trade is now invalidated and we need to cancel it. So let's show ourselves some discipline here, even though it's kind of painful to do, because we were waiting for 30 minutes to get filled and we didn't. But let's show ourselves how professional and disciplined we are, okay, by canceling this trade. Okay, guys, so good job here. Good. Okay, so yeah, so alerts. Euro. I want to take another look at the euro to see what happens. So with the euro, we have a confirmed climate. We have an average at 112.29, 29.3. Yeah. So again, we have the same situation here with such a narrow UFO. Okay, and this is what I told you before. So again, I'm just gonna leave the session giving you instructions. So price, okay, price is inside the UFO, okay? So because it's only one tick wide, 29 to 28, okay? Please don't take the trade now, okay? It's not wrong if you take it now, by the way, okay? But it would be much higher probability if you wait for green to show up on the reactive time frame and then take the trade, okay? And this is because this UFO is such a narrow UFO. Your stop would come to be below 28. Okay, so you would have your stop below 28. But when a new UFO forms, let's say a new UFO forms here, okay, on the reactive time frame. So the price here, okay, may be 30, meaning that it's like you have a micro UFO here at 30. So if that was to be the case, okay, that the top is gonna be your entry and 28 below is gonna be your stop. Okay, so it's kind of like you made that UFO a little wider, which is not ideal for risk management purposes, but thanks to the green UFOs that showed up here on the reactive time frame, now you got more evidence. So wait for this to happen, because this will help you better to have better setups when your UFOs are very, very narrow. It's a little more tedious because it requires manual watching, but in those markets it's certainly worth it, especially now that currency markets are not volatile at all, that they are moving very few pips per day only, okay? Good, okay, so am I leaving anything on the table? The euro, crude oil, we canceled it. And crude oil, by the way, went to the entry, okay, but we canceled it. Natural gas with an update, okay, because we changed time, so the update is 254.3, so 54.3 is much higher than before, so 54.3 is all the way here, okay, so this trade would need to be rectified, okay, and let's cancel it and let's replan it. So this trade will need to be rectified, and we're gonna have some overlapping here, okay, but the entry will need to be at this price point now. So yeah, so let's do it. So the price point here is 53.8, so 53.8 53.8 is going to be the entry, okay. Stop is going to go under 29, so under 29 is 28, so we have it correct. And so target one is 48, and then the final target we set for crude oil is 25.44. Okay, so we have a problem because the final target would happen to be prior to the safety target. Okay, so this trade is not valid unless the red UFO is gone in this time frame. So yeah, good news. the red UFO is gone in this time frame. So we just opened the door for a larger profit, because given the current price action right here, so the on-field orders that were available at 2.544 are now filled. Okay, so what we need is that we're gonna have to load a little more market data. Let me see daily time frame. Yeah, so I'm just gonna load data all the way to September 15. So back to 60 minutes, and we'll start from September 15 or 19. This should give us data enough for us to find the on-field orders we need. Here we go. So that would be the target, located at a 2.590. That would be the target for this trade. So disable auto UFOs, go back down, and the target, okay, instead of 44, it's going to be 590, which is making this a much better trade right here. Okay, so I'll give you an opportunity for a screenshot. This trade is valid for the next 1 hour, isn't it? So now, by the way, you may say, wait a minute, Jose, 2.538, it's below 2.545. Okay, and let me get to the last candle on the chart here on the edge time frame, sorry, common time frame. So 2.545 is the current value for the average, but of course we also need to anticipate what's going to happen when natural gas goes down. The average will go down by a little bit, okay, and if it goes down by a little bit, okay, it should be around this price level, based on my, if you wish, estimation. So I'm okay to do that. And again, entry, safety target 1, stop loss below, equal distance, and then final target all the way on the top. Okay, so that would be the trade, again valid for the next 1 hour. That's what we got with natural gas and with the euro. Quick look. So okay, so price just came into the green UFO. Okay, this is now the time to look at the reactive time frames, okay, to see green show up. Okay, and if green doesn't show up, don't take the trade. If green does show up, then take the trade. That's simple. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll read your last comments here and we'll call it a day. So here's Frank. Wonderful, Frank. You know, I was talking about you a minute ago and I was not fully aware if you were with us. Again, I didn't manage to find your trade. Let me see if I can find it. Plenty of really beautiful trades, Frank. Oh, this one is Japanese yen. This one is the same. Let me see. Okay, so it's loading. So just wait a second, and hopefully I can show the trade. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is a trade taken with the micro gold contract. Okay, so what Frank is doing here, he's charting gold futures, but the execution is done with micro gold. Okay, it's not the regular mini gold, it's the micro gold. Okay, so you can do the same with the micro S&P, with the micro Nasdaq. Okay, and then you can go ahead and use two targets if your position size would not allow you to. So now you could. Okay, if your account size would not allow you to, I meant, so now you could. Dirk, valid point, Jose. I am using the break-even target. You call it safety target already for 2 years now, and I'm just loving it. Take a look of emotions of my trading. Yeah, thanks, Dirk. Yeah, thank you very much for the kind words, Lisa. Thank you very much, Frank, as well, for sharing with the whole community those beautiful trades. It's eye opener. Parvez, thanks, Jose. You are long natural gas since the last week. Nice one. Very good. Okay, everyone. So, hey, let's call it the day. We surpassed the time of the session by 10 minutes. But again, good trades there to be executed. The one with the euro, let me see, did it show green? No, we didn't see the green. And you can see what's happening. The UFO went away. Okay, guys. So that's the tricky part of those tiny UFOs. Okay, sometimes we need a little extra evidence, and that's why we put in the bottom right those reactive time frames. Okay, most cases is not needed, but when your UFOs are very narrow, that's the time. Okay, cool. Everyone, see you. I believe it's tomorrow. I think we are doing longer term trading tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it will be the day after. So see you then, everyone. Keep up the good work, and again, let's be connected. And Ricky, if you're still with us, I'm about very close to finish crafting my email for you, and after reviewing your trades as well, and I'll give you your answers. Everybody, take care. See you soon. Keep up the good work, my friends. Bye bye.